Good morning and welcome back to Business AM. My name is Simba Elijah Charles here. You can find us live on Facebook at Metropole TV Kenya. Hashtag Business AM. We are live on YouTube as well. Let's get this conversation rolling there. Good. This is the last part of the show. And like we always say, this is the most insightful part of the show, other than us scaring you on exactly what is happening in the economy right now. We're talking about inflation being at 6.27%. Wow. All right. This morning, therefore, we're talking about a certain aspect in entrepreneurship that is the back end to success of any entrepreneur. We're talking about scaling up. How do you start an enterprise, and then how do you grow it to the level where it's just not a business now, it becomes a brand. And after becoming a brand, therefore it becomes an integral contributor to the way it is that service is run within the economy. Good. This morning, we are talking about a gentleman who has represented the continent, and I'm not talking about Kenya, in terms of being identified as one of the most successful 30 under 30 Forbes 2019. Let me introduce to you David Chalo. Chalo, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Let me first say, how does it feel for your name to be among 30 within the African continent?
I would say one of first is very overwhelming.
Yes.
Because it comes with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's something that I've been always it's one of the things that I always wanted. Because to my head, I wanted to be on Forbes at some point.
Yes.
Actually, my first newspaper interview, I said, somebody asked me if I had any award. I said, I don't have any, but I want to be on Forbes. Because that's the first step, because I wanted to hit that after 30, before 30. Then now I can focus on putting our company on Fortune 500, because that's the biggest deal now when you're now on the top of Forbes magazine globally.
Yes.
So for me, it is exactly, it's like a dream come true.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's just talk about exactly what is happening in the economy right now. I mean, there's this number that eats into every entrepreneur wants to get into business. Now, Ken BS just released statistics the other day, and they're telling us that 400,000 enterprises die annually within the Kenyan economy. When you look at it, it is you get in, you get out, the instant you get in. But when I look at your journey, you started your business when you were right in campus. But now, the biggest challenge also that World Bank tells us, that is from 2015, if you look at the biggest challenge to enterprises within the Kenyan economy is that you have no capital to get this new idea started and running. Having looked at the way you started, would you say that capital, because I know when you started your business was back in 2014, would you say that capital was a major challenge when you started your business?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
And as much as people tell you start from scratch, but capital is a huge, even up to date.
Yes.
Because somebody can even right now, even let's talk about today, then we can talk before we started.
Mm-hmm.
Even today, you might be handed in a very huge project, and you might just turn it down because you don't have somebody to finance it for you.
Yes.
Local banks, at times, they are very harsh with their terms. Shylocks, again, very harsh with their terms. We don't have a very good system to support entrepreneurs in terms of funds. When you look at America, when you look at even developed countries in Africa, they have people who back you up.
Yes.
People are willing to put in money to your company, a lot of money. In Kenya, for instance, somebody to give even 5 million, they will launch literally a whole stake, even 50% for the company. So capital is a huge thing in business. Because if you have to set up a team, they need to be paid. If you have to do marketing, even basic marketing, social media, it needs to be paid for. If you're moving up and down, you need your guys to be given transport. If it's a product you're developing, say manufacturing, you need equipment. For instance, in our industry, our equipment are very capital intensive.
Yes.
If I have to put up, say, huge screens to get them its quality screens, it's damn expensive.
Yes.
So capital is always a challenge, and it's always a part of the business as well. Mm-hmm. But again, it should not be used as an excuse for you not to start. Mm-hmm. because when you started with 1,500 shillings. That's literally-
Interesting. That's actually exactly what I want to come and ask you next. Is it yes?
Because somebody told me you can't keep on complaining about situations around you. You can't keep complaining about how Kenya is corrupt, how there are no opportunities and all that.
Yes.
But in the same economy, there are people making it. So it shouldn't be as much as it's a challenge, it should not be an excuse for you to start.
Yes.
And that's why you see most people wait to save a lot of money to start a business. One, you must learn to handle the small money first before you can handle the big money. I think if I would have been given the capital that I wanted to start, I would have misused it if I was given at a go, that particular time that I needed capital. Because handling money is a concept. You have to have a foundation. You have to start from scratch.
Yes.
You know, you need to manage 1,000 shillings before you are 10,000 shillings. When you manage 10,000 shillings, you can manage 100,000, a million to a billion. If I think right now you give me 20 billion from the blues, I'll probably spend it in a bad way.
Yes.
But there's a certain level. If I move from right now to the next level, chances are I can never go back to this level.
Yes.
Because you've built a foundation, and it's literally an art that you master with time.
Yes. Yeah. And I want you now, so that we can talk about your progression journey from when you started in 2014 with your partner, actually, when you're in campus. You started with just 1,500 shillings. And that's one thing that really stands out when you started your company. Now, if you look at the economy right now, the Central Bank of Kenya is really trying to push for a lot of credit flow within the economy. Entrepreneurs are getting favored. We do have competitions like Mbele na Bizna that have been launched in conjunction with the World Bank of Kenya this year. Would you like to imagine that your journey would have been a bit different? Like you would have progressed a bit faster if these credits within the economy right now, like mobile lenders and all that, would have been in existence when you started out in 2014?
Yeah, I think it will have been a huge difference because, one, when you started operating, actually went to Moi University, not Kenyatta University.
Yes.
Our first office was in Kenyatta University.
Yes.
By first office, I don't mean physical office. We used to work under the School of Applied Sciences. Under the trees, we used to use those desks, just work from there.
Yes.
Some of the clients wanted to come to our offices. And since you don't have an office, it's a turn off already. So if you disappear with my money, where do I find you?
Where do I find you?
But you see, to have an office,
yes,
you need money.
You need money.
To have a team, you need money.
Yes.
To have, even to do social media marketing, you need money. So I think it will have made a huge difference right now. It'll have moved faster. And that's why you see big corporations like Facebook, Google, crowdfunding for them, give them a competitive edge.
Yes.
Like even the public gives you money to push your product, push your business.
Yes.
So if we had that in Kenya, there's so many rich people in Kenya, people who are wealthy, people who are networked and all that. If people back up young people, because Kenya has brilliant minds. In the same list of Forbes, we had a young person in South Africa. Somebody who's 26 having a company that is $7 million turnover.
That's quite huge.
But they have backing of investors.
Yes.
The same thing can happen in Kenya, whereby if people can see potential in something, instead of putting your money offshore, instead of putting money in the bank, instead of just thinking about real estate, because most of it, I think our culture, our investment, everybody thinks about real estate. If you get money right now, the first thing you think is buying a plot somewhere.
Yes.
But there's a startup that you could invest and could give you more returns than because at some point Safaricom was a startup. At some point SportPesa was a startup. At a point Equity Bank. I'm talking about the local brands that we have. All these are startups. Keroche Industries, all these people are startups at some point. If we could focus on young people, not necessarily young people, even just somebody doing an enterprise somewhere.
Yes.
And back them up to, because I think the most challenging part is the growth phase. Because after you've proved that your business can make money, at some point you just need a lot of resources to push it to the next level.
Yes.
If we can just back our local people,
yes,
I think we can produce a lot of global brands.
Which is actually now what I'm talking about, and actually that's why now people want to listen to you today. It's been roughly 4.5 years since you got into the market as an entrepreneur, and your growth has been drastic. And I know what you're targeting, 50%. Ambitious, not ambitious, we're coming there. So now let's talk about this person has got this good idea. Yes, I can sell to my friends. I can sell to my neighbors. I'm making some money and my neighbors know the products that I'm giving them are good. So this right there is a good idea that I need to push up there. When you look at your growth journey, what do you need to do to make sure that you're investing your money in the right place at which stage so now you can grow the way your journey has been?
A simple concept, KYC.
Yes.
That is one, know your customer, know your country, know your county. Literally, focus on what brings you money. Know your employees. One, apart from, most people think, focus on the wrong things. We just focus on the money so much that you can dilute your delivery. Like right now, if somebody give me an event, I will want to say, anybody will want to make a lot of money. So I will want to lower all the standards so that I can make huge margins.
Yes.
But you don't look at this person next time will give you a bigger business. So most of the time we're so centered on the money that you even forget about your own employees. You forget about the product that you're delivering. You forget about your competition.
Yes.
Because you're supposed to look at all these dynamics together. If I'm making money today, how do I reinvest it to make sure that tomorrow I'm one step ahead or one step closer? If you're not one step ahead, you should be one step closer to your competition.
Yes.
Slowly by slowly. Like how it's just like a dot, then you make the dot bigger. The same.
It's the same concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at exactly what the World Bank was also saying the other day. That would look, businesses in Africa, especially Kenya, they don't invest much in advertising. They view advertising through their products. Let's come up with a very good product. We don't need to spend much money on advertising. Now we'll get customers from our products. In your growth journey, were you forced to invest money in advertising to the point that you had to budget for it? Say, this financial year, we're going to use this much money in advertising, or you let your service sell you?
I'll be very honest.
Yes.
I think we've been very reluctant with marketing. I think most of our clients have been through organic growth, referrals and all that.
Yes.
But now I'm at a point whereby really we need to do a big, huge, marketing, reach out to a lot of even SMEs, just be out there. Marketing, it's a big deal. And when you look at the most successful companies that have huge spend in marketing in Kenya, are the ones doing well. Look at literally all the brands.
Yeah, you will look at it and the top
spenders,
advertisers or the top.
Look at the top spenders on billboards.
Yes.
Are the huge revenue makers.
Yes.
So advertising, it's actually a non-negotiable.
Yes.
If you want now to blow up your product. Mm-hmm. So it's something that we're employing a couple of strategies.
Yes.
So we'll be rolling out in a couple of months.
Yes.
Well. Yeah.
Okay, let's therefore talk about another aspect really that stands out in the way that your company has grown. You look like somebody who's now diversified the company. You started as basically an events company. And I know your first event, you were robbed of some money. That's a very interesting aspect in your story. But now, what we are saying now, you're getting into issues like public relations now. So do you find it important that, yes, as your company grows, if your services company, then you should see exactly what you can affiliate to your company and therefore develop it further like that? Or are you trying to look for other business ventures that you can also start developing so that we don't say your creatives company is at this stagnating point where you have nothing new to look at?
Diversifying is key.
Yes.
Diversification. I think most of the people probably wouldn't know this, but Samsung produces tanks for wars.
Interesting, isn't it?
When you look at even big companies in Kenya,
yes,
diversification, there's one product that pushes you, then you have others that are just byproducts of what you do.
Yes.
So diversification is literally because you need streams of different streams of revenue. 2017 was a very bad year for us because of politics.
Yes.
And that happened because we had only one product.
Events.
That was events. The economy was really tight at that particular time, and so events are luxury products. Any company can do without events. if they were to do away with anything, they
They'll
can
be
do away
first up with events,
They'd
isn't
rather
it?
invest on the sales team
Yes.
than
Then
the market,
yes.
on the events
Yes.
events budgets. So that came with a huge lesson that you need a company that has multiple streams of revenue.
Yes.
But again, it shouldn't be so off key from what you're doing, because at times it will be so awkward that you're doing agriculture. Then your diversification is something that probably consumes a lot of energy from you. It should be something that doesn't really affect the operations of the business.
Yes.
It's something that literally, say, complements with what you're doing.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the same line, but something that doesn't really, down, strain your team, strain your resources, strain your marketing, all those things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, something that's really also standing out is that you're saying the next 10 years, you want to command 50% of the Kenyan market in terms of public relations and the way events are created, that everybody should look at creatives and say, this is the way exactly events should be conducted. So when you look at that, it's like you, David Chalo, from where you stand as the CEO, it's like you've investigated the market and you've known exactly what the market misses when it comes to events in this country. For somebody listening to you right now, what would you say gives you this confidence that in the next 10 years, 50% will be mine? Just to put it into perspective, the only company that has gone beyond 50 in this country is Safaricom.
You see, before Samsung and Apple, there was Nokia.
Yes.
So there are a couple of things that we'll do. One, we'll be investing so much on innovation.
Yes.
We don't want just to do what other people are doing. We want to be those people that do things differently. One, leveraging on technology, leveraging on creativity, and our people as well.
Yes.
So that's what we're working on. And again, we're not just looking at Kenyan market, we're looking at other African markets.
Yes.
Other unexplored African markets. And at some point, we'll be looking global.
Yes.
We're not here to build a Kenyan brand, then you're done. We'll want an African brand, then beyond borders. We're not just looking at events alone. We're looking at a very wide array of diversification. So that's what we're looking at.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the last question that I want to ask you. Everybody wants to hear that. It is 30 under 30. Do you feel, therefore, that this gives you more responsibility and more energy, therefore, to push even further and also talk about closing the margins that you've been talking about just right now?
It does.
Yes.
Before at 30 under 30 Forbes Africa,
Yes.
I was on top 40 under 40 2016.
Yeah, Business Daily, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
And that
Yes.
that facilitated to where I am right now.
Yes.
To the clients we have right now. And for me, Forbes Africa means beyond Kenya now. It was an eye-opener of I should not just focus on the Kenyan market. I should not just be... Because I met, when you're in the local, in your comfort zone, you're not challenged. Mm-hmm. When we went to the event in South Africa, because there were only 30 in our business category, we find people doing amazing, super amazing things.
Yes.
At a very young age. I'm only 29, there's somebody who's 26 doing $7 million.
Yes.
I'm thinking, in Kenya, somebody thinks when you're making a turnover of 20 million, you're doing so well. But when you put yourself in a now, a whole ocean of now people doing real stuff, you're like, I think I need to work harder. So for me, it was an eye-opener to stop even thinking about my company in terms of Kenyan million shillings.
Yes.
Start thinking about millions in terms of dollars. Mm-hmm. And say, I'll be very proud and say, next year we've made $2 million.
Yes.
In a couple of years, we're doing 10, 20. So that's what I'm looking at.
Yes.
And again, expansion, bigger teams, being all over, being a brand that you can't be ignored, being a brand that at some point you don't need to do marketing. People know you.
Yes.
You don't get to your client, they come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is you're targeting.
Yes.
I know what you're targeting next, Fortune 500, isn't it?
Yes.
I wish and I hope that when you should get there, I'll be the one doing this interview as well. So.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. I mean, how better can it get? I mean, when we're talking about Forbes top 30 under 30, it's not something that you get it by being lucky. No, numbers speak for themselves, stories speak for themselves. And for Kenya to have that representation, it means that something is going on good within the Kenyan economy. It's up to you now to get the lessons and then ask yourself, what am I supposed to do next so that I'm also counted among 30 under 30? We've been talking to David Charlo this morning. We end Business AM. I'm still processing the information. We end Business AM. I'll meet you at 1 p.m. for Metropole News at 1. And guess what? His story will make the back end of that. I don't promise. Probably you shall be there. Good morning.